Welcome or welcome back to the 8th concession. My name is Natalie. Well, this is Let's Finish Getting This Garden Planted Take 2. You can see back there I got the garden rebuilt. I still don't have a permanent solution for the voles/moles, and I have this terrible feeling that they're just going to dig new tunnels. I'm going to have to come up with something for next year. But for now, the walls aren't going to collapse. I have filled it back up. That bed was new last year, and I do a hugel gardening type of filling of my beds where I start with like old logs and then add clippings and branches. Then our compost, which isn't quite completed, and then I top it with finished compost, and that has been working fantastically well for me in these beds. Now for the first couple of years I usually have to fill the beds as the material underneath decomposes and goes down. So I did have to do a lot of filling in that bed back there, but it's ready now. I made the other two Ollas. I didn't have any more clear silicone, so I used white. It's underground, nobody will see. So they're ready to go in so I can finally put my peppers in. And we had 3 nights of very cold temperatures, about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius, which is just above freezing. And there were frost warnings in certain areas, but where we are, I think because of our proximity to Lake Ontario, the lake kept the area around there a little bit warmer. We didn't have a frost warning. I did cover some of my plants just in case. The tomatoes, I did see a tiny bit of damage on the leaves, but I haven't lost anything, so it's fine. And now the temperatures overnight are going to be hovering around 11 or 12. So no more frost warning. Still not very warm, but then it is technically still May today. And if I get the rest of my garden in, I can still claim I got it in May. So today I am determined to get the rest of the plants in. I better get to it. My goodness, the minute those chickens see me, they think I have a treat for them. I already gave them their treat. They're already in their new run. I don't know what their complaint is. Like, seriously, ladies. So in this bed, I'm going to place, I think, an Oya right back in that corner, and then maybe one right about here, and the last one up here. And I'm going to plant the pepper plants all around them, and then I'm going to fill them, and we're going to see if they make a difference to the watering situation this year, if we do have a dry summer. So far it's been warm, but I mean, it is still just May. So here's where I am with the peppers that I started. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Royal Black, which is a very hot pepper that Craig likes in salsa. I managed to have, well, there's actually 3 growing in there, so 4 chili peppers. 1, 2, 3, 4 early jalapeno. There's several in the pots here of the Hungarian hot wax, which Craig loves as hot pepper rings. And then these are all either California Wonder or mixed bell, so there might be some colors in there. And then I have 1 pot with 2 plants in it of the lunchbox pepper. So they're just a bell pepper, but they're smaller, and I wanted to try them for the first time this year. So they have like little snacking bell peppers. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've got to do here. there. Now I know I've probably planted them too close together, but I have this terrible thing where I can't kill anything that has gone through the trouble of growing. So I found a spot for all of them except for a couple of the royal black. I have 2 of the royal black right over here, and that's plenty of those. So I'm going to have to gift them to someone else. But all the others have managed to put in, and I've left a bit of room at the front here to plant something else, because as usual I have more plants than I have garden. So something's going to have to go in there. Actually, I decided to move things around a bit. I moved the 2 royal black peppers to right there and right there, because they're a taller plant and they'll do better at the back. I was going to try and put something back there like a squash, because I have too many of those as well, but that's not enough room. They'll shade out the peppers. So I moved the royal black back there, and I took a couple that were kind of squished over there and moved some of the Hungarian hot wax over here. I think that looks a little better. And I still have room at the front for something else. And I think what I'm going to plant there are my beets. These are just dollar store beets, 3 packs for 99 cents. You can't beat that. There's not a whole lot in them, but at that price, the beets will cost me $1, and I will get enough to pickle about 15 to 20 jars. So that's what I call bargain beets. Have like a pack and a half left, so I think I'm just going to go all along the outer edge of the pepper plants, because I think the beets will be done before the peppers will shade them out or anything. I like to pickle my beets small anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. Now among my pots, I noticed I have a pink zinnia that I started. Again, it's a bit leggy, but you know what? It'll do fine. And I'm going to plant it right up in this corner here for a bit of color in the garden. I mentioned before when I was talking about the onions I was growing and the reason I liked them and how well they kept. And they did keep amazingly well for about 8 months in my cold cellar. And my cold cellar, it doesn't really stay cold once the warm weather comes. And I think that's because it was built under the front porch and the early morning sun shines on the bricks. And I think it needs to be better insulated or whatever. So the onions did start sprouting, the ones that were left. There are a few more there, and like even this one is still pretty firm. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop up the onions that are still downstairs that have started to sprout and freeze them. And these 2 I am going to plant for my fresh onion seeds this year. I'm going to plant them at the front of bed number 1 where all the parsley and dill self-seeded, but they're going to have to jockey for space up there because that's where they're going to go. And now for the back bed, the one that I just got fixed. It's a longer bed, so you can see I've put some of my homemade trellises there for my Polish pea beans. I discovered accidentally last year that they actually are vining. And my kidney beans, and put some pumpkins at the back so they can actually climb over and down onto the ground, I think. I have extra zucchini too, which I shouldn't have planted, but I think I might put them at the front. Or maybe the other way around. I think I'll put the zucchini at the back, the pumpkins at the front, because it's a lot shallower here. It's quite high at the back there because the ground slopes away. So I think that would be better for zucchini. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I had quite a few of the early giant pumpkins germinate, but I only got one of the polar bear, which my daughter-in-law gave me. They are white pumpkins, so I definitely want that one in. I think I'll only put maybe 2, maybe 3 there, and the others I'm going to have to actually plant in the ground, which they're going to have to struggle a bit and fight with the weeds, but that's just the way it is. And here are some yellow zucchini, which are looking pretty sad. Some green zucchini and some Romanesco. So they're going to go at the back. Oh no, I found some more peppers. Yellow bell. Ugh, they have to go in. I'll have to make room. I noticed too, one of my watermelons sprouted. It's pretty tricky to grow watermelons here, Zone 5B, Southern Ontario, but I did get a mini one last year. And again, it grew, so I'm going to find room for them. I don't know where yet, but somewhere. Have a decent amount of room back here. I think I'm actually going to plunk the other pumpkins in here. Again, hopefully they'll trail over the sides, and I think I'm going to leave the zucchini there though. Plant my pathetic little watermelon here because it vines, and I don't think it's going to get in the way of the onions or vice versa. There's a bit of an empty spot, maybe right here. Let's see how he does there. I'll probably forget what it is and pull it as a weed. And the almost last thing I'm going to do, because isn't there always something else to plant, is I found some parsnip and carrot seeds. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them right along the edge here. Oh, look how dirty my hands are. Gardener's hands. Parsnip on this side and carrots on that side. I don't think that the tomatoes will bother them too much. There I can officially say the garden is in. Well, almost. I have to wait just a little bit. I've got some tarps down beside the potato bags there, and that's because I want to kill off the weeds a little bit in the ground. I don't have room in my beds for a sweet corn. I would like to plant a little bit. It is so good when it's fresh. It struggles in the ground, to be honest, but I've run out of room in the beds, and I did not get the extra 3 beds built this year like I wanted to. There's a reason for that, which hopefully I can share later. But in the meantime, I'm going to put them back in the ground, but I need the weeds to die back a bit, and then I'll plant them. But everything else is in. Let's have a look. Here is the garden. dill, parsley, onions, cabbage, leeks, maybe a couple of melons in among the onions. The back bed has the pumpkins, some squash, and the beans. That's where the corn is going. There are my potato bags. Oh, I should show you. Even though I haven't been watering them regularly, you can see the potatoes are growing. And then in this bed, peppers and beets at the front, cucumbers along the trellis. And then over here in bed number 3, there's a bit of lettuce at the front which will be moved shortly. My garlic, my silver fir slicing tomatoes in the cages, my loofahs, and a Matt's wild cherry tomato. Over here at the back I have 2 zucchini, and then these are my plum tomatoes, the cup of Moldova. I now have parsnip and carrots along the side. 1 birdhouse gourd and some more loofahs. Some tidy treat cherry tomatoes. The spinach that will be coming out shortly and replaced with butternut crunch lettuce. And my peas. Aren't they doing fabulous climbing up these trellises? They look very happy. Hope your gardening season is underway. Bye for now.